Just as the Native Americans were forced to convert to Christianity while secretly honoring their own spirituality, many of New Mexico's early Spanish settlers also practiced a hidden faith. They were the Sephardic Jews who had eluded the Inquisition under the guise of being conversos, Jews who had converted to Catholicism. They became known as crypto-Jews because they practiced their Jewish faith secretly while presenting a different persona to the public. Of the 19 founding families of Santa Fe, 11 are believed to have been Jewish. Throughout New Mexico, clues continue to be discovered that confirm the hidden spirituality of the crypto-Jews. This image of La Santísima Trinidad, the Holy Trinity, was New World Hispanic art, which was banned in the 1500s by the Roman Catholic Church. In the center of the box is the Ark of the Covenant, which contained the 10 Commandments given to Moses by God. The altar at San Felipe de Neri Church in Albuquerque featured the Star of David as a reminder of the previous homeland of the Sephardic Jews expelled from Spain. The Star of David graces this 100-year-old house south of Belen, New Mexico, indicating a Sephardic home with a hidden prayer room. Emilio Candelario at left wore a handcrafted shawl called a talid at the youth center at San Felipe de Neri Festival in 1922. Talid is derived from the Hebrew word talit, which is a prayer shawl. Through the early 20th century, these types of gazebo structures, called a jarral in Spanish, could be found in the backyards of homes in New Mexico, which were used for prayer among the Sephardic Jews. There are many foods that were brought to the New World by those who practiced a hidden faith. The empanada was a dish prepared by Sephardic Jews of Salonika. It consisted of a casserole of chopped meat and fish baked with a layer of pie crust on top. In Spanish dictionaries, empanada is defined as a meat pie. In New Mexico, empanadas are made with fruits, meat, often beef tongue or pork, and can be sweet or salty. They are usually baked or fried. The prayers and chants for those who practiced a hidden faith reflect Judaic concepts that are not written in Catholic books. Some prayers were derived from the 150 Psalms in the Bible. Each verse was memorized and chanted daily. The recitation of one psalm was connected to an Ave Maria. The forced conversion of Catholicism gave birth to counter prayers. The Sephardic Jews held the rosary in one hand and would recite a psalm before reciting a Hail Mary. The most outstanding characteristics of Judeo-Spanish culture in exile were written in the form of medieval Spanish verses or coplas. Hispanic New Mexican coplas were orally passed down to each generation from the elders. Coplas are often religious in theme, yet do not have the function of liturgical poems or prayers. The coplas were beneficial to many cultures. They were meant for those who did not know Hebrew and had no access to rabbinic literature. The coplas were learned easily and memorized, reflecting the customs, folkways, and characteristics of the Sephardic community. Andres Jaramillo of Albuquerque, seen in this photo, was known in the community for his recitings of coplas. The Sephardic Jews to arrive in New Mexico spoke Judeo-Spanish, also known as Ladino. The language was a mix of Castilian Spanish and Hebrew, with some words derived from Arabic, Greek, Turkish, and French. Yiddish is the language of the Ashkenazi Jews, while Ladino is the language of Sephardic Jews. Many Spanish words used in New Mexico today are derived from Ladino. Among Sephardic classical books is the one called the Ladino Torah, written in 1553. It was the first critical edition of the most influential book for the Sephardic Jews of Spain. On September 25, 1492, following the expulsion of the Jews from Spain, 20 Bibles were burned in Salamanca. The Bibles included both Jewish and Christian traditions. The tamarisk tree has religious connotations throughout New Mexico. It was common to pray near the trees. Abraham in Genesis chapter 21, verse 33, was said to have planted a tamarisk tree in the well of the oath, which was called Bersabeh. The name Bersabeh is common in Albuquerque and other Hispanic communities. The tree commemorates the desert of Bersabeh, where Hagar and Abraham's firstborn son Ishmael wandered. At the ranch of Solomon Luna, south of Albuquerque, a rock on the property was found with Hebrew inscriptions. A hidden Torah was also found on the property, which currently resides at a synagogue in Albuquerque. The tombstone of Solomon Luna had a talid covering sculpted over the marker, with fringed tassels hanging to the crown, an indication that he privately practiced Judaism. This is the image of the sculpted talid on Solomon Luna's gravestone, reflecting Judaism. In 1625, in Mexico City, pan cinceno, meaning thin bread, was eaten and baked by Jewish bakers who called it the bitter bread of affliction. In this photo, Alberto Garcia sold the unleavened tortillas on the Old Town Plaza in Albuquerque. At one time in Zaragoza, Spain, Sephardites honored young ladies who bore the name Estela, Stella, and Esther. A fiesta was held in honor of Queen Esther and called Dia de los Reinas. The festivities were held secretly, while Spanish Catholics honored Mary, the mother of Jesus, as Queen of Heaven. The Spanish Jews of New Mexico would pray to Queen Esther even after her name had been removed from the roster of saints in the late 1800s. This was one of the many hidden customs that the Spanish exiles practiced in order to keep their faith alive. This painting reflects the history of the Arabs and the Jews who once thrived in southern Spain. Arabs legislated to keep market scales honest. Jewish physicians practiced and taught their profession, which at the time was considered ancient, while Jewish diplomats worked in unison with Arab leaders. They are left to right: Rabbi Maimonides, Isaac Abravanel, Rabbi Jose Caro, and Baruch Spinoza. This list contains victims of the Mexican Inquisition. They were the Spanish Jews who were prosecuted in the New World. Their punishment consisted of life imprisonment, flogging, and burning at the stake. These are the surnames of the Sephardic Jews who fled Spain and practiced their faith in private, pretending to be Catholics to avoid punishment.